Welcome. Every single day, there's an invisible battle being fought all around us. It's this constant struggle between our bodies and a whole microscopic world of organisms that are trying to get in. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the playbook that infections use to win. And way more importantly, how we can tear that playbook to shreds. So, what if I told you that pretty much every single infection, from a simple cold to something way more serious, follows a predictable 6-step plan? Believe it or not, it's true. And understanding that plan is the absolute key to stopping it dead in its tracks. Okay, let's dive right in. In this invisible war we're talking about, the name of the game is creating a clean zone. A space that's free from all those nasty disease-causing microbes. And this isn't just for surgeons in an operating room. We do this stuff every day when we wash our hands or wipe down our kitchens. It's literally our first line of defense. Now let's meet the main villain of our story, the pathogen. Put simply, it's any little microbe that has the power to make us sick. But, and this is super important to remember, not all microbes are bad guys. Our bodies actually need a whole bunch of good ones to stay healthy. An infection is just what happens when that delicate balance gets thrown off by one of these powerful pathogens crashing the party. So, who are these invaders exactly? Well, it's not a single enemy, but a whole diverse lineup of infectious agents. Let's meet the usual suspects. All right, here's the rogues gallery. Each one of these has a totally different style of attack. First up, you've got bacteria. These are the rapid multipliers. Some can reproduce in just 20 minutes. Then you have viruses, the ultimate hijackers. They're so small, they have to actually invade our own cells just to make copies of themselves. Fungi are kind of like simple parasitic plants. Parasites, well, they need a living host to get their food. And then you have these things called rickettsia, which are clever. They use carriers, like ticks, to hitch a ride from one person to the next. Different strategies, but all with the same goal: get inside. So how do these agents actually pull off their attack? Well, it turns out they almost always follow the exact same 6-step playbook. We call it the chain of infection. And you have to think of it like 6 links in a chain that all have to connect perfectly for an infection to even happen. So here's the plan, step by step. It all starts with the infectious agent, the germ itself. That agent needs a reservoir to live in, like an infected person or even contaminated water. Then it's got to have a portal of exit and escape route, like a sneeze. Next, it needs a means of transmission, its getaway vehicle, like droplets flying through the air. After that, it looks for a portal of entry to get into a new person, like their nose or a cut on their skin. And finally, it needs a susceptible host, somebody whose defenses are maybe a little bit down. Now here's the key takeaway. If you remove even one of these links, the whole chain falls apart. The infection fails. So, this is where it gets really interesting. If the pathogen has a playbook, then guess what? So do we. And our playbook is all about one thing: breaking that chain. By understanding each link, we can see exactly where and how to step in and stop the spread of disease. Honestly, this is the most empowering idea in all of infection control. Every single link in that chain is a vulnerability. It's an opportunity for us to step in and just say, nope, not today. You know how they say a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? Well, our job is to find that weak link and break it. So one of the most powerful ways to break the reservoir and transmission links is simply by cleaning. But, there are levels to this. Sanitization is your basic washing and scrubbing. It just reduces the number of germs. Disinfection is the next level up. It actually kills most of the bad guys, but sometimes it leaves their toughest forms, these things called spores, behind. And then you have the heavyweight champion, sterilization. This one is no joke. It destroys all microscopic life, spores included. Every level is just another tool we can use to break that chain. Okay, let's talk about the single most effective action any of us can take. Proper hand washing. This is our #1 weapon for breaking that transmission link. And I'm not talking about a quick rinse. We're talking a vigorous 20-second scrub, making sure you get every single surface. But check out that last step, using a paper towel to turn off the faucet. Think about it. That simple move stops you from immediately picking up all the germs from the handle you just touched with your dirty hands. It's such a small habit, but it has enormous power. Beyond just cleaning, we can also put up physical barriers. You can think of it like our own personal armor. This is PPE, or personal protective equipment, and it's all designed to block the portal of entry and the portal of exit. Gloves shield your hands. Gowns protect your skin and clothes. Masks defend your airways from incoming germs and, at the same time, stop you from spreading your own. And goggles protect those super vulnerable entry points, your eyes. Each piece is targeted armor against a specific link in the chain. And this really gets to the heart of it all. Infection control isn't about one big heroic act. It's about building a foundation of simple, powerful habits. There's this great line that just sums it all up. It is far better and easier to learn good habits from the start than to break established bad habits. In this fight, just being consistent is our greatest ally. So we end where we began, but now with knowledge and with a plan. That 6-step playbook an infection uses is no longer invisible to you. You can see the links, the reservoir, the means of transmission, the portal of entry, so the only question that's left is a personal one. Now that you know how the chain works, where will you choose to break it?